Hey, hey, what is going on, guys? It's LL Spanky here, and here it is. I finally got the video out. Honest tips you can do to improve your game in Fortnite. And first off, real quick, I just want to say I'm sorry for the quality of the video, like the images itself right now that you're seeing on the screen, because basically I'm brand new to video editing. I just started figuring it out, right? And the clips I had planned for this video, I recorded wrong, and there was like no way to like improve the image or make it better. So I would have to scratch it and just redo everything, which wouldn't have been hard. But I've been saying I'm going to get this video out, and that would have probably added, some time. And this is after I rendered it and like had it all done. So I was like, well, I don't have a choice now. So anyways, with that, here are the honest ways to improve your game in Fortnite. And from the beginning, I want to say there ain't no instant fix. I'm gonna tell you this, and it's gonna make you better. That ain't how it works. That ain't how video games works. Especially a game like Fortnite. There are some games, like, you're familiar with League of Legends. There's a mechanical aspect and your knowledge aspect, and it's very arguable which one matters more. Because if you're like, there's a lot of I guess mechanics definitely do. I think they both matter equal in that game, but this isn't a game like that. Mechanics would be like gun skill and building skill, and knowledge-based things would be like positioning, so like where you land, how you move around the map, things like that. So, yeah, but that's that. I'm not gonna give tips on. I'm gonna tell you, what I used myself to get better. Okay? And first off, the gameplay in the background is Team Rumble, right? Okay, and the reason for this is specifically for this video. Okay? There's some things that Team Rumble can give you that, depending on you can repeat most things that you do in a regular game, right? But the thing about this is you can loot up, get your high quality loot, and then just keep fighting people non-stop. That's the point. Okay, you have to get to 100 kills, right? So you gotta get the most kills possible. And the things that, like, if you just, you can use playground and creative as well, right? But that's only one person, or you're playing, unless you have friends who are like, training with you. But going into playgrounds and building a lot isn't doing it against people, right? And if you're someone who's not necessarily good at any aspects of the game, the only way you're going to get better is in practice. And like, let's say hypothetically you're someone who always dies when you get to the final circle, or let's say against in a build battle, right? Like, anytime it goes into a build battle and more than a couple stairs, you instantly are done, right? Every time you experience that in a real game, you're gonna die and the game's over. And then you don't experience it until you have it again. In this mode, if you die, so what? You still got all your loot. You just come back and you can just keep fighting people. Okay? And yeah, it may not be taken as seriously or whatever, but, people still try at the end of the day. People, like, I guarantee you, if you're killing someone repeatedly, they're gonna start dropping on you, trying to get that kill back, because their pride's taken from them. So and every time I talk to players about Team Rumble, they have such a salty view about it. They hate the game mode. Some people use it for challenges, but other than that, they're kind of like, noobs play that, you know what I mean? And so they won't even utilize anything about it. And I don't know, it was just interesting because, like, every time I talk to a player about it, they just like hate it, and I was like, it actually can help you. That's what it's for. We used to love Call of Duty Team Deathmatch, right? Go in, smash some players, get as many kills as possible. That's all this game mode is. And in the meantime, you can build as much as you want. Practice anything you're gonna need to practice in this mode, right? So, and then another thing that is super important is, wow, sorry, I had a blank there, but is your settings, right? And this is kind of, you know, basic slash common knowledge, but it really is important that you don't just find certain people's settings and copy them. You know, get ideas from other people. You know, that's exactly what I've done. You know, and at the end of the video, I will be showing you my settings for sure. But I've taken from multiple different influencers certain things. I would say like my settings is what works for me and what I have like combined, and all the changes Fortnite's made for us, because like um you know, I'll get into the settings thing, you know, more when I'm showing you mine, so I won't go too far into that. But yeah, and then the other thing is utilizing the edit courses, aim courses, all that in creative mode. People have made so many good maps, and don't worry, I do have a few I'll be able to show you a little bit, but you know, go on Reddit. You know, you can find it pretty much anywhere, whether it be on Reddit or you know, I just Google most times. Sometimes you can YouTube it, like Scissors Death Run, if you want to do like a maze. But to find the edit courses I found, there's actually a Reddit thread. I'd have to find it, but if you just Google it, you'll be able to find it. But that'll give you a bunch of courses. And then there's YouTube videos. You know, I'm sure everyone's heard of mongraals edit course and things like that. But really utilizing those and like putting the time in. I mean, I know that it, you know, is boring or like whatever, but if you want to get good at editing, which is, you know, that's, I mean, you got to put the time in. And right now it's so important to be good at everything in Fortnite. It's no longer, yo, I'm a good builder, I can outbuild everybody, because everybody builds like that. Everybody lasers, okay? I think the thing that's starting to really separate players now is editing. Definitely. Like, I've improved my editing so much. I actually changed, because alright, that's a settings thing, but I changed my settings to make it better for editing. Even I prioritize editing over shooting, and I'll explain why in just a second when we get to the settings part. But yeah, I got a little off topic, but you got to use those editing courses, man. And like I said, and that's just, I mean, if you don't, yeah, that's really what's separating players. Like, think about all the pros that we're talking about right now, and that is something they're really, really good at, right? Like, that's just how it is. So we'll hop in. See, I already had this set up. I just wanted to finish. I got a little off track there. I just wanted to finish that. You know, and I'm not gonna. There we go. I'm not gonna play. Oh, wait, hold on. Get that sound going. We gotta get that sound going, boy. Let me hit that back button. There we go. Right? Oh, I forgot. I turned my sound off. No, I don't ever use that. What am I doing? Alright. So, set island code. These are some of the ones I use. Codes are, you know, I guess I could put, you know, in the timestamps, I want to put the codes for all these. I use controllers, so this is like the most important one, I think, and it's got aim, edits, and builds. However, recently it was some of the aim, like the bots that spawn that you would shoot at, don't spawn anymore because of the Fortnite update, which is like super unfortunate, but that's what happened. And that's why I turned the sound off, because of this exact reason. So I'll just put it on super low. There we go. So yeah, but I'll put these in the timestamps. Yeah, like I said, this one's my favorite. It's a controller world, of course. It's got like basically everything. Because if I was gonna run through the whole thing, plus you have to, there's a load time, but I can't. But yeah, that's that's what I use for that. Maybe I'll do a video of like me running through it. If that's something that you guys would be interested in. And right now, the juicy gritty, the thing you guys want to get to, is settings. Right. So this is my settings. I play on controller. I do play on mouse and keyboard for like Save the World actually quite a bit because my controller keybinds are different than in Save the World, so that's a problem. So I use 6.25 for XY. Controller building sense. I used to have this on 1.8, but due to the fact that your editing sensitivity is your building sensitivity, I had to sacrifice and lower it, and I feel like 1.65 is fast, and I can still most of the time be accurate with my edits. And then my targeting sensitivity, this for the longest time was like 4.3. And then, I don't know, I was just like, dude, it takes me too long to line up the long shots, so I lowered it, and I lasered now from a distance, which is good. And my hip fire, I use 6.25 because I don't like the sound of 6, and I always thought like 7 was really good, but I just sometimes I miss shotgun shots, so that's ultimately why I chose 6.25. And then these, make sure your edit mode aim assist is off if you're on a controller. That will really ruin, like, I had it on for a while, and I thought, I was like, man, sometimes this really saves me. It like prevented me from like messing up. But once I turned it off and just started creating muscle memory, because that's what it'll ruin, is not having muscle memory, I'm way faster now. And then, let's see. Build a pro, buildability, you want that on. This doesn't matter because I have instant edits. But, yeah. And then, Dead Zone. I keep debating on if I want to have it at 0.18 or 0.19. All this does is it makes it so, like, when you use a controller, there's like, and you move it a little bit, because like, it doesn't activate right away, and this changes it. Normally you start out at 0.27, and the lowest it'll go down to is 0.05. But when it's that low, sometimes like people's sticks, like it'll go by itself, right? And I think this still gives enough. I'm gonna go back to the 19, but I don't know. I like the 18. So I'm right now I'm between 18 and 20 for what I think the dead zone should be. Originally it's 0.24 over here and 0.27 over here. I would say between 18 and 20 is what I'm really liking, because that's the numbers I keep varying. Edit. Let's go right in here. All right. And for a very long time, I put my jump on my right stick, and I had edit as A. And I don't know. I eventually, I couldn't run through the edits. I just felt I felt like I couldn't edit as fast as I wanted to, and the reason I switched was so when I'm jumping in the air, right, I don't have to take my thumb off of A to aim. And then one day I was playing Save the World on controller because I was being lazy and you can't switch it, and A's jump, and I realized like the way I aim, because I've played shooters for so long, I've developed like I kind of like line it up a certain way, so like when I hit A I can flick it. I don't know, it's like a technique that I developed to keep my aim prime and be able to jump in shooters over the course of years. So I thought I was creating an advantage, but I think like when you're aiming with one thumbstick, you're not excessively doing something with the other. Like, yeah, it's in a position, but you don't have to push it down or anything. And I think the fact that I was while I was aiming with my shotgun, I would have to push in. I think that actually hindered my aim ultimately. So that's another reason I went back. So I made it edit, and then I made it. Obviously, the only difference in build mode is I put rotate on X and trap placement clicking, so I can create traps all the time. That's the only thing I would switch up here from default. And then obviously the edit right here, and then for my edit confirm, obviously I'm gonna want to click in the stick, right? Because that's why I wouldn't want to keep it as B, because that's why I put it there. And then jump, and then yeah, that's the dead zone thing. So yeah, that's my settings, and like I said, guys, those are the important tips, man. And I'm actually just about to pop in to this warm-up course, but I'll be sure to, in the comments, you know, I'll pin tweet. But this literally takes like 2 minutes to load. But it's a really good warm-up course. And yeah, those are the things to utilize, man. And I don't know if maybe you were expecting a little bit better, I mean, a little bit magical tips or things you can do, but I think those videos have already really been made. So this is really about utilizing what Fortnite gives you and taking advantage of it. Like, seriously, that's all you gotta do. You want to get better, you have to do it yourself. And that is the truth, man. So at the end of the day, this is L Spanky signing out. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you learned something. Alright? And if you didn't, I hope it motivated you to use what you already know you could use in the first place and improve your game. Alright, guys? I appreciate you watching the video. And yeah, next time everything's gonna be much better, man. So I mean, record it like quality for the video wise, and then yeah, that's really it. And I hope one day we can get this channel rocking. All right, I love you guys. Peace.